This presentation is to illustrate the SampleServe sampling and digital chain of custody process for the cannabis industry. Although rules and regulations will vary by state, in general the cannabis sampling flow process using the SampleServe system is summarized with this graphic. Many states require that bulk product be sampled and analyzed for herbicides, pesticides, E. coli, THC, and other contaminants. Each state regulation varies in the quantities which require sampling in the sampling process. However, in general, most states require third-party sampling. As illustrated here, the grower would have a certain amount of bulk product that needs to have a sample collected. In this graphic, a third-party sampler would use the mobile application with the three-part authentication and collect the sample and apply labels to both the sample and the bulk package that the sample came from. That sample would be delivered to the lab using the digital chain of custody process. The lab will do the testing and analysis, and upon completion, upload the lab data details back to the platform. The grower or any other party with an interest in the results could, using the mobile application, simply scan the barcode or the QR code that was left on the bulk product package. The results of the lab tests would be revealed on the mobile device and indicate whether the sample passed or failed. The user could then also look up the details of the laboratory analysis if desired. Here's how our patented digital chain of custody works. When a sample is collected, we verify the sampler's identity using three-part authentication. The first way we authenticate the user is through the user's unique username and password. The second part of the authentication is upon sample collection, we require the user to sign their name on the screen using either a stylus or their fingertip. For the third part of the authentication, we require the user take a selfie with each sample collected. In addition to recording those three authentication factors, we also collect the GPS coordinates for the location of the sample, and we also collect the date and time stamp. Our patents also include the ability to incorporate other biometric factors such as fingerprints, retina scans, facial recognition, or other types of personal identification. In order to do a custody transfer with another party, we use the same process. The sample collector would identify the sample or samples they are relinquishing custody for. They then go through the three-part authentication process and indicate that they are relinquishing custody. The new person that is taking custody will either scan the sample using the barcode QR code reader, or they will receive a notification of the custody transfer being initiated by the other user along with the sample IDs. They then go through their own three-part authentication process and accept custody of the samples. The platform then recognizes in real time that the new person is in possession of the sample or samples that have been transferred. Again, the time and GPS location is recorded for both parts of the custody transfer. Other key parts of the application are as follows. An administrator for a company that subscribes to the platform would assign or unassign users as needed. Each user is required to have a unique username and password. Samples are treated like evidence, and as such, every transfer of custody requires authentication by both parties. The transfer data can be used to assure compliance and validation with things like sample hold times, sample delivery details, etc. Regulators can also review this information to determine whether or not sampling was done in accordance with established protocol. If you have any questions regarding the sampling and digital chain of custody process for the cannabis industry, we can be contacted at the phone number and email presented here. Thank you.